Coming up on Mountain News this morning, emergency crews prepare for any damage that possible severe storms might cause across our area. And Kentucky legislatures look to make education more accessible and affordable for students across the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Well, good morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris. It is Friday. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Let's hurry up and head on over to Brandon Robinson because we are busy this morning over in the weather department. Brandon, first alert weather day, and that rain is coming down this morning.
Yeah, it's just the rain right now. I do think it's going to clear out a little bit later on this morning, give way to maybe some sunshine, which is not a good situation today, and the possibility of severe weather on the table this afternoon. Let's talk about what's going on right now, kind of get you prepped. Of course, if you need a way to get weather alerts quickly, that first alert weather app QR code right there, always on the bottom of your screen on the left there. All you got to do is open your phone camera and point it right at it. It'll get you going there, all right? So some heavy rain back up toward the I-64 corridor into central Kentucky this morning. Some heavier pockets over into parts of the Big Sandy through parts of Magoffin, Johnson, and Floyd counties this morning, over into Pike as well, down into Letcher. Harlan seeing a little bit going into southwest Virginia, but everybody else just seeing some basically garden variety showers as you head through the first part of your day today. Now, we're going to be looking at temperatures that are fairly mild out there this morning. We're going to see those in the 40s in the northern counties and into the 50s down to the south already, getting close to 60. Jacksboro, Harlan, 56 there, Middlesboro, so they're climbing. Warm front pushing in. Breezes pushing in from the southwest right now, but they're going to start to warm us up pretty quickly today. So I think even before the rain starts, we will get into the low 70s out there. Not too bad in the way of gust or sustained winds right now. But trust me, those numbers will not last, especially as we get deeper today. Your out-the-door forecast, rain gives way to storms this afternoon, break in between, and those winds will start to pick up later today as that front approaches. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Crews with the State Emergency Operations Center are all on standby this morning, waiting to respond at a moment's notice before they head out. Well, they do have tips for how you can prepare your own house for severe weather. Grayson Passmore talked with those on the state level about today's weather.
It can be the days, hours, and even minutes leading up to potential severe weather that sometimes count the most for emergency management crews.
We're talking to our area managers. We have 10 of those spread out into 10 different areas through the state. They all have a certain number of counties they cover. So we're wanting to make sure that we have that connection with what's going on at the local county level and city level.
The director of the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management, Jeremy Slinker, says right now communication between the state agency, county agencies, and even neighboring states is key.
We've been through it, so we know what helps, what's a better way, what's a more efficient way. So, you know, after each of the past events, we've talked about those things and implemented them for the future.
Slinker says there is a large population of people around the state for whom they're very concerned. The several hundred families living in travel trailers following previous major storms, like the flooding in eastern Kentucky and the tornadoes in the western part of the state.
Just like in the Christmas Arctic storm, we're not leaving those folks behind either. They're sheltering in our program. We take their safety very serious, and we're making sure they get all the advanced warnings and alerts, as well as where do you shelter and where can you go if the impending weather is coming in.
That was Grayson Passmore reporting. Remember, you can stay weather aware with the First Alert Weather app. To download, scan this QR code with your camera on your phone or search for it in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. You can get the latest weather alerts and radar. We also encourage you to download the WYMT News app. There you can find the latest breaking news and school closings. And many school systems are closed today in anticipation of the bad weather. Of course, we'll always keep you updated. Kentucky legislatures are looking to make education more accessible and affordable for students. Senate Joint Resolution 98 takes on ideas of restructuring higher education in a way that gives students more opportunities. Senate President and sponsor of the resolution, Robert Stivers, says while they do not know exactly what to change, he hopes all angles will be evaluated.
Being nimble, accessible, affordable, transferable, to the point that you or any other young student or a person who is a non-traditional student can be employable.
The resolution includes looking at the possibility of acquiring private universities to serve as four-year public universities. House lawmakers have easily cleared a bill that deals with some changes in the election and voting process. It's House Bill 302. Supporters say it will increase transparency and security at polling places. It gives the Attorney General more power to perform inquiries and audits and requires county boards of election to name how many parking spaces polling places have. It also prevents candidates from campaigning or electioneering close to polling places.
This stipulation regarding election day is already in the statute, but with in-person absentee balloting, voting now being an option, it simply adds that those days are the same rules for electioneering at the polls.
The bill passed 11-0 and now goes to the House floor. Lawmakers passed a bill that would give teenagers a new way to communicate troubling issues or mental health concerns in schools. It's called the SafeKY Act. It sets up a pilot project through the University of Louisville to establish an app that they could then text directly to professionals concerns that they may have for crisis intervention. It also establishes the Kentucky Health Safety Center.
To create, implement, and maintain an app for middle and high schoolers, college students to access mental health professionals to help divert crisis and provide some guidance.
Well, the app could also be used as a tool for students to text concerns of school violence or to report incidents they see. It passed unanimously out of the House Health Committee. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, Tennessee becomes the first state in the U.S. to put restrictions on drag shows. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
And while things are still going for now with the rain, storms are on the way in this afternoon, and they could pack a punch. I'll have the very latest on the threats in about 3 minutes.